Hello. April is Autism Awareness Month. And I got light up shoes. They're high heels. And it took me all of 5 seconds to be aware that I'm autistic. Wow, I had an entire month to do that. Now what am I going to do with all that time? How about some fun unboxings? You know what would be a better idea for this month? Autism Acceptance Month, where people, accepted me as a human. But anyway, let's move on to the fun stuff, because that is a rant for another day. I have a bunch of boxes of fun, fidgety, stimmy toys, and I have not seen too much about adults and using these items and what it is like to use them as an adult, and what ones are aimed at adults, not in that way. And, you know, just a little unboxing, first impressions kind of thing. I might do a video later on reviewing what I thought of them if I continue to use them, if you would like. So comment if you want to see a video like that in the future. But of course you're probably going to want to see what I have here first. But first things first, per usual, we have a tea of the day. And it is in my bad temper mug. Because, yeah, I just spilt that, didn't I? You know, I don't have the greatest of temper. You know, being autistic isn't all Stim toys and rainbow socks. I can be a real pain in the butt. Looks off camera at fiance. Yep, confirmed. So, the tea of the day is very odd, just like me. It is ginger licorice, and I know just 80% of the audience just gagged, probably, because a lot of people hate licorice, and I know a lot of people who hate ginger. So the idea of mixing the two probably sounds like your worst nightmare. But I love it. I love ginger. I love licorice. So this is great tea. I buy it but with 50 sachets in a bag instead of just a little tin. I'm actually not sure they sell them in little tins, because this is a very you either love it or you hate it kind of tea. As far as how it smells, it kind of, well, it smells like ginger and licorice, but not black licorice candy. It pretty much smells like a spice drawer to make, curries, but without the hot spices, if that makes sense. The more mild spices. And it tastes, well, it tastes like ginger and licorice. A little sweet, a little bitter. Okay, that was the tea of the day. Wow, that was way too much about the tea. Let's get some boxes. Alright, so the boxes are pretty big and plentiful. Let's see if I can. So, yeah, I think you can still see me. I made a pretty big order of those things that are on Amazon that are labeled as good for autism, good for ADHD, good for anxiety, stuff like that. And even though some of them did say they were for adults as well, or for office use, a lot of them did seem pretty juvenile, and some of them were things I used as a kid. So I wonder what it's going to be like to try them as an adult. So let's get to opening. What should I do first? Should I go big to small or small to big? Off-camera vote.
Small to big.
Alright. I'm indecisive, so we're going small to big. This one is slightly smaller. So, first package. To try to cut through. Ooh. Oh, I'm actually pretty excited about this, because I loved these things when I was a kid, and now I have them in colors that I still love as an adult. So these are called Junior Tangle. I thought they were called Tangle Junior, but they are that. And I got it in this aqua, rainbow, and pink and blue and clear. So let me open one of these up so you can see what it is. So basically what you do with it is you just kind of like untangle it, tangle it back up, and if I remember correctly, yes, they do come undone, so you can make them bigger or smaller, longer. So I could actually take all of these and connect them and make one big long tangle that you could loop around and around a bunch of times. I'm not going to do that right now. Like I said, if you want a video of me going more in depth on some of these items, this is just a first impressions kind of thing and an unboxing. Let me know. Let me know if you want me to use them for a month or so, and which ones, and what my thoughts were, if it helped with my focus or my anxiety or my fidgety stimminess. Okay, moving right along to the next item. We'll just leave some of the items on the table. Don't know what's in here. Okay. These are called Monkey Sensory Fingerings. Now these look very strange. Let me try to open this bag, but yeah, I have bad motor skills. Shocker. Alright, so they look like this, kind of like springs. Not quite. Coiled metal. I mean, that's all it is. I guess you just like put it on your finger and roll it back and forth. I think that's what it's meant for. They give you a lot of them. Poor motor skills. It's not a diagnostic criteria, but a lot of people with my diagnosis have very poor motor skills. I mean, that feels kind of good. It's like a little finger massage. Anyway, let's put these back in the bag if I can. I guess you could wear these as a fashion statement. Personal preference. If you think that looks cool. Personally, I feel like it would kind of inhibit the use of your fingers because you can't really put your fingers all together. I don't know. Next up is more packaging. Ooh, okay. Okay, so this is one of the few that was actually targeted just at adults. So I forgot what it's called. Oh no. That's actually the brand name. Or maybe that's the item name. I don't know. But it's these two cylinders that kind of twirl, and you're supposed to just put it in your hand and do that. I got it in rose gold, of course, because of course I did. What other color would I get it in? Right? It did come in red and black and blue, I believe. So, if you're not a rose gold person, you don't have to be as fancy as me. Okay, I have really weak hand muscles, so this actually kind of hurts, but maybe it would be good for me to use these because I do have weak hand muscles and I never work them out. I never work on my poor fine motor skills anymore. It does look like something a grown-up would carry around as opposed to something like this. Be pretty inconspicuous on your desk. Is that all in that package? Yep. Trash. Next package. I am so gonna pop these with my high heels. There we go. That was nice. That was extremely satisfying. ADD, inattentive type. That is one of my diagnoses. Oh, okay. This is another one that was actually targeted towards adults. It is an infinity cube. Just kind of twirls endlessly. And once again, I got it in rose gold because, of course, I did. But I saw one in red. I saw one in black. I don't remember. This is nice. It's metal, so it's pretty heavy duty, and I like the coolness of metal. And it comes with a little carrying case. So, yeah, once again, I think this would be pretty inconspicuous on a desk. But, like, how? I don't know, I think the metal makes it a little bit noisier, so it would be a little bit distracting in a meeting or something of that sort. So, that's that item. Next item. Oh yeah. Therapy Putty in green because I really like the color green. I loved this stuff as a kid. It is actually really good for strengthening your hands, which was something I desperately needed as a kid and desperately need as an adult. But it's just putty. You just play with it. Kind of push it around. Make pancakes with it. Squeeze it. And the nice thing about it is the type of putty it is, it doesn't leave a residue on your hands. And it doesn't leave like colors on your hands. Like if you were to play with Play-Doh or something of that sort. And you can stretch it. Stretch it. Ooh, I'm going to have way too much fun with this. I'm going to have to stop and move on to the next items because there is a very large box with a lot of items in it, and I don't have time to be having fun with therapy putty. Is this a box that I just taped back up because I filled it with things that I either got at stores or opened because they were in packages of things that I needed and they were just combined automatically by Amazon? Yes, because I like to just open boxes. So I taped a box back up. Judge me. in here, let's see, what should we start with? I'm going to start with things that aren't technically Stim fidget items, but I have found to actually be rather nice. I have these exercise resistance bands, and you know, it's good for just, like, this is a nice little repetitive motion you can do, and it like activates those muscles in your arms, and like it gets a lot of tension out if you're feeling a bit like punching a wall. The higher resistance feels good. These I have used for the purpose that they were intended for, but they are also very similar to things they sell for autism and ADD and anxiety. These are hot and cold massage balls that I bought at Target for $5 actually, so that was pretty cheap. And I believe that means, I don't actually know how you get them hot. Can you microwave them? I've never tried that. Oh, you microwave them. Cool. Didn't know that. I've always put them in the freezer for the cool effect. So one is smooth and you can, and one of them is spiked and you roll them underneath your feet, but that is just their intended use, and it does feel really good if you have arch pain. I am a former competitive dancer, so I know the arch pain, but they're also really nice in your hands, like doing this when it's hot or cold. Feels nice, and sometimes just a smooth one. You could even like roll it on your body. I mean, that's not really rolling, but it still feels good for some reason to me, especially if it was cold or hot. They say that changing your body temperature is a good way to get out of a headspace. So if you're in a bad headspace, putting something really hot or really cold in your hands is good. So doing something like that with it being really hot or really cold could be helpful. So those are those. This is actually something I had been wearing for a while because it was given to me by my therapist in a partial hospitalization program. I should probably show you what it is before I put it on. It's just a little plastic zipper, and it's a bracelet, and that's all it does. Zip and unzip. So you just wrap it around your wrist, and, oops, come on. Just zip it and unzip it. Zip it, unzip, zip, unzip. I wish they made these in a nicer, more grown-up look as opposed to this kind of cheap plastic, but it is very nice and good if you're just like talking to someone and kind of just need a little fidget, like a little back and forth. They might notice, but it's definitely not overly distracting. At least I haven't had anybody complain yet. Next up was another thing given to me by my therapist at that PHP program. It's just a stress ball with a little winky face on it, sticking its tongue out. I don't know. I don't like stress balls. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I have weak hands. But they don't do much for me, but it's just a foam stress ball. Nothing too exciting. We'll just continue with stuff she gave me. This is a snap and click. Create any shapes and more fun. Wow, that didn't English good. But I got the color green and pink, because I like green and pink. So yeah, I've actually never used one, but I watched a girl sit across from me in my PHP program use one all day. And it kind of looked fun. Each click into 5 preset position. Okay. So I guess you can just kind of... I guess it's very similar to the Tangle, except it's more square. Not really sure. Can you pull them apart and not break it? Yes, you can. I thought you could because it looked like the girl who was sitting across from me would pull it apart. Interesting. So that's nice. I mean, it's definitely very juvenile looking, but it could be a good thing to keep on my desk. Then again, I work for myself, so I don't sit at a desk too much, and if I am sitting at my desk, it really doesn't matter all that much what I'm doing. But I could definitely give you an idea of if it would be strange in an office. Next up is actually something my fiance gave me for Valentine's Day because he just thought it was cool. I kept getting them advertised to me as things that are good for autism for some reason. So I decided to add it to this fun little collection we're doing. I don't really know what it's supposed to do for me, but it's cool. So it's a little mirror. Say hi to yourselves. Plug it in. This one's USB powered. And, oops, don't fall out. It's an infinity mirror. It has little LED lights and it just looks like it goes on and on and on. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to do for me except, ooh, I kind of feel like I'm in an Instagram filter when I look into it, which I'm not complaining about, but I'm not sure how that's supposed to help me with autism. Visual Stim? I mean, I kind of want to hang this on my wall and just have it on all the time. It's a thing. I could use it and let you know what I think of it after actually using it. But let's move right along to these. Also something I got at Target for $3. Gel pens. Writing in gel pens is so soothing. Like, I need to open up this package right now and pull out a pen, and there's a piece of paper. There is a piece of paper. Just doodle with it. Oh yeah. I love how smooth they are. It makes me wish I was better. Ooh, do I not know cursive? Maybe I don't. So I'm not going to show you what I wrote. But it feels good. I really love gel pens, and I mean the 90s are coming back. Right? Please don't make the 90s come back. Please. Because that would mean the early 2000s would come back, and we really don't need frosted tips again. Or Enron. If you're old enough to get that reference, congratulations, you're old and dying like I am. Oh, this is another thing that I loved in my childhood. I've never actually used one on myself, so it's going to be interesting. My fiance doesn't live with me, so I can't have him do it all the time. But I've also never used one as an adult, or had one used on me as an adult. But these are sensory brushes. They are silicone, and they have very fine bristles. It's kind of hard to see with that light. Can I get close enough that you can see just how fine the bristles are? And what you do is you just kind of, well, you can press with any amount of pressure, but I like more pressure because it actually feels softer with more pressure. It's a little spiny when you don't put much pressure on it. And you just kind of brush, press harder and brush, or like press hard and then kind of let up. Yeah, that actually feels really good. I really like these. I'll try to use them on myself and see how it goes. But they are called TheraPressure brushes, or TheraPressure brush. Trademark. Anyway, let's move on. Ooh, are we finally to the big box? We're finally to the big box. Oh, yes. This one has a lot of stuff in it. Oh. Okay. Like a smart adult, I cut towards myself. Oh, I get to do that again. Listen, we need to take two. Light up, clear, high heels versus, I don't know what I call these. Air packing. That is satisfying. Anyway. Let's see. Ooh, okay. This is way bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be about the size of those fidget cubes you see everywhere. So this is a... Oh, what is this shape? It has 12 surfaces. I don't know the name of that shape, but is similar to those fidget cubes, except it has a lot more on it. Next up, now this isn't directly a Stim or sensory item, but if you are like me and have muscle tone problems and fine motor skill problems, then you need something like this. This is actually more physical therapy, but it was listed under things for people with autism. And some of the things in here I saw in a lot of the other, like, toy kits, so I bought it. This is one of those little things you put your fingers in, like so. Then you just kind of like stretch your hand. Oh god, I have really weak hands. Like, how far am I supposed to put my fingers in? And it'll strengthen your hand eventually. But I could see that being a good distraction. If you have stronger hands and it's less painful, then, ooh, I actually don't know how to use this one, but I keep seeing it everywhere. Yes, I'll actually, yeah, I actually looked at the instructions, judge me. So you clench it and then release. So it's almost like a stress ball, but it feels way better than a stress ball, and it has these small little nubs on it, so A little more sensory action happening there. A little back and forth. Yeah, that's nice. This is just a stress ball, but it's jelly. I like that way better than the foam one, but I still don't like stress balls at all. I don't know what my thing is against stress balls, but I do not like them. And this is actually something that I have used because I played guitar for a really long time. It strengthens your fingers, and I have really bad coordination if I'm not looking at my fingers. So you like press down on each individual thing. And this is a, like, obviously you squeeze it kind of like a, I can only think of those garden sprayers, but you can turn it up to be more kilograms of resistance, which is interesting, or less. Oh yeah, that's way less. And turn it up all the way to 40 kilograms? There's no way I can do that. It takes a while to move the thing, but it just strengthens your hands. I think this is the level I'm at. This is the level I'm at of hand strengthening ability, just squeezing. I can't do coordinated things like this. Like, nope. Nope. Not at all. Not at all. But definitely good if you have muscle tone weakness. Okay, moving right along. We have an entire set, so this is going to be a lot. Oh, how long have I been recording? 45 minutes. Well, some of this is going to have to get edited out. Okay, so some of these I can skip over because they're repeats, or very simple. This is exactly like the one I showed earlier, except way longer, and blue and green. I like the color. Let's try to keep the fidget toy set together. This is one of those marbles in a mesh tube kind of thing, so you just kind of squeeze it up and down, back and forth. Like I said, I have very poor coordination. It came with a few of them. This one's kind of adorable. They're little peas in a pod, and then when you squish them, they come out, and they got little smiley faces on them. A lot of these are just like hand strength tests. I don't like that. Oh, these are these like noodle things. They are very squishy and floppy. Guess you stretch them. I heard a lot of people like to chew or bite on them. I personally am a germaphobe, so I would never do that. But as someone who's pretty weak, this is pretty nice. It's like a weaker version of one of these, and smaller. I guess this would be more appropriate for a child. It also came with a couple of those. And these bright neon colors! Woo! I feel like I'm at a rave, because I have a really bright light in front of me and behind, with the light shining through them. I just feel like I'm looking at someone's, like, locks, who's a, I don't know, cyber goth. Anyway, Rubik's Cube. I'm not about to start moving them because I don't know how to solve one. This is just a standard foam stress ball that looks like a basketball. We already know how I feel about stress balls. Ooh, but this is a different kind of stress ball because it makes little, it's like gooey. I kind of actually like this one. It came with a few of them. Oh, I'm having fun. That feels good. Feels really cool to the touch too, even though it's really hot in this room right now because of the lights. Alright, I'll stop that. And then it has these, they call them bike chains, I think. So this is what it looks like. And then I think you just kind of flip them around. Ooh, flippy, 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 flippy. I think that's all you can do. Yeah, you can move them around a little more than just flipping them, but you can't do too much with them. And this particular set came with 2 of them. And what's this? Ew, it's like, I don't know if it's a timer or just to be pretty, but it drops colorful oil down and just looks cool. I guess that would be a visual stim thing, or just like a relaxation. Just kind of sit there and stare at it. Yeah, that's relaxing. I'd put that on my desk. It's pretty relaxing. And that's the end of that fidget toy set. I'm going to put stuff back in there. And I think we're down to my final item that I bought, which I already have a version of, but I do not have this particular one. So I have out of my way. I bought a 10-pound weighted blanket. I, of course, have had my 20-pound weighted blanket back here for a while, but there's a few setbacks with it. If I'm sleeping and I start having a panic attack, every now and then it'll help me, but other times it'll make me feel like I'm being restrained, and it's really scary. And it also, if you have like the slightest bit of it hanging off the bed, it will drag the entire blanket onto the ground. So that's a problem. It is really meant for 2 people or a very heavy person. There is a mathematical formula for how heavy your weighted blanket should be. I think mine came out to be about somewhere between, it was between 2 weights, and I can't remember if it was 6 or 8 pounds that was actually closest, but I got 10 pounds because I know I actually like the weight of the 20-pound, but need something a little lighter. And this one comes with 2 duvets. One is for warmth, and the other one is the one I'm really excited about. It is for cooling you down, because this thing gets so hot. Like, no time of year could I sleep an entire night underneath this and not sweat bullets. So I am excited to try this. I would open it up, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a blanket. But actually, yeah, why not just toss it on the table? See what it's like. Oh, I think this is the other duvet. That must be the cold one. This must be the hot one. I'll look at the instructions eventually. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, 10 pounds feels way less restrictive and a little more comforting. That's my personal opinion. I can give a more in-depth review of 10 pounds versus 20 pounds later on, but whew, let me... So, I believe that is the end of my haul here.
Wait, darling, you missed one.
Oh, did I forget a box?
This one.
Dude, from the airport?
Mm.
Okay. I am preemptively getting a divorce lawyer. He just handed me this. A Union Jack fidget spinner. Yay! Well, this is my full haul slash spread, whatever they're called these days. I actually have more items of this nature coming. If you would like to see a video like that again in the future, let me know. Probably a bit shorter. I realize this video is incredibly long, and maybe with more in-depth information about each of the items that I get. Let me know what you would like to see in the future. If you want me to do the update video of using some of these items, like let me know which ones or all of them, and let you know what I thought of them as an adult using them out in the real world. Let me know if you want to know what's in my personal kit, so to speak, as a person with an autism spectrum disorder, ADD, and anxiety. I got them all. Woo! I won the lottery, didn't I? And trying to, you know, not make that the most obvious thing in the world, because unfortunately there is still that stigma. I might incorporate some of these items into my new kit. We shall see. For real, there needs to be better and more Stim and Fidget items for adults, because a lot of these are just very juvenile, if you ask me. So to end this video, I will use this stupid fidget spinner that my fiance got for me with a Union Jack on it, and just spin you guys out. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment and a like below. Subscribe if you enjoyed this video and would like to see videos of this nature in the future, or other topics. I have a lot on my channel, or I have a lot coming. So, hope to see you guys again in the future, and just watch the spin. Just watch the spin. Let it be hypnotic. Bye-bye. If you made it to the end of this video, I thank and applaud you. I know it was extremely long. If you want to connect more and see more of my content, follow my brand new social media accounts. I'm at Dopamine Darling on both Instagram and Twitter. If you want more mental health related content, subscribe to my second channel, Dopamine Darling Talks. And of course, check out my website, dopaminedarling.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again. Until then, love yourself, take care of yourself, and express yourself.